steep ramps and you fly high. Other tracks are really fast and long. Racing monster trucks takes a lot of guts. You got to go out there and really study your track.
Endurance plays a big factor in the monster truck racing. It starts out before you even race, before you bounce around the trucks and need to have a strong back and a strong neck, you got to set the trucks up. And all the tires weigh about 800 pounds a piece, and you got to jack the trucks up. You got to change all 4 tires by yourself, you know, with no aid of any special equipment. You got to wrestle the tires on, put on the lug nuts with the air gun, and you got to go to the back, jack it up, do the same thing. And then after all that, then you're ready to race. And I think, you know, if you wear a back brace and a helmet and a neck brace, I don't think you got to be Superman to drive the truck. But I think if you had a bad back, monster truck racing wouldn't be what you need. You know, I've had a few times where I've come down in a truck, basically planted my butt right in the seat, and it felt like my spine went right on through. You know, I've never been hurt that way, but it does smart after a while. But and after all that racing is over, and you know your adrenaline and everything has been pumping, you're tired. Well, then it's time to tear down the truck. And again, you got to manually take the tires off, load them on the trailer, load the trucks, chain them down. It's a pretty demanding, in a physical aspect, it's pretty demanding. I find kids are the biggest fans in the monster truck. Young kids, probably from the age, well, toddlers. I mean, I've seen people bring their babies out and they'll be looking at the trucks like that. Probably from, you know, little babies to 15, and then it's real funny. The older people, like elderlies, I don't want to say old, 60 and on, they really are impressed with the trucks too. And I think those are, if you spend enough time with them, signing autographs and do a good show for them, you got yourself a fan for life. I'm Dale Boucher. I drive the Skull Bandit monster truck. Okay, when you're running the trucks, your adrenaline works overtime, and you hold on that steering wheel tight, and you don't know, you know, everything that's going on. You gotta think just like this when you drive, and if you're not right on, you're gonna lose your race if you don't dial yourself in. So the adrenaline comes into a big part. Okay, I was doing a race last weekend, and I got in line. I was working up the race with Gravedigger in the finals, and I hit it was a 2-car track, dirt ramps, so right there you know it's going to be a real fast track. And when you take off, I hit the first set of cars, came down and landed. Well, I hit the second set of cars in the dirt ramps, and the truck went up on its side. So I grabbed the steering wheel, I'm holding on tight, and I knew it was going to want to roll. And when it hit the ground, the side that was on the ground, the front tire blew out, plus popped my power steering pump, so instantly the front tires turned to a right-hand turn. Then the truck gets up on its side like this, and it's sliding. We're doing about 45, and that really wakes you up. I mean, you got to settle the truck down. You got to try to get it straight, not roll it. All those things. It's hard to describe what that feels like. When you're coming up to a set of cars, you get 20, 30 feet from the cars. You can see the cars, but you start hitting 15, 10 feet to the cars, you lose sight. And when you're running a fast track and you hit a dirt ramp, you lose sight of your cars at about 15 feet, and then you know from, it's like you replay in your mind how far you weighed from the cars you were, and you feel the truck hit the ramp. So you're in the air, and I can honestly tell you, I don't know about other drivers, but when I hit the air, I'm not looking out the window at any particular thing. I'm driving all by feel. And I've had times where the truck's gone up and then just starts setting sideways, but you're holding onto the steering wheel with both hands, you're strapped in the seat, so you're going to move whichever way the truck moves. And when it sinks down on one side and it hits down so hard that you feel the front tire give way, and it debeads and it goes flat and the truck swings like this, you know, that's pretty wild. I believe monster truck racing is an all-American sport. I mean, where else can you get big trucks, big tires, Your main categories is Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge. You don't have all the foreign Mazda, Toyota, or anything like that. It's all American made. And I think the American people consider this the big sport in motorsports.
My name is Doug DeMokas, and I'm known as the Wheelie King. When I did my first wheelie, I was, I believe, I think around 15 years old. Ecstasy. It was the best feeling in the world. I got a job as a guard working in the pit area at the professional races, the professional motocross races there. And I got kind of bored, so I started wheeling around in the pits. And some of the top motocross guys saw me and thought it'd be pretty neat to see if I could start wheeling around these motocross tracks. And at the time I could wheelie around them a little bit, not too great, but I started practicing and I got to where I could ride around the tracks, and got sponsored by Kawasaki in 1979 through 81, and sponsored by American Honda from 81 to 84, and brought me here today. There's no real secret to what I do. If there is any secret, I guess it's practice. I put a lot of hours into practicing. I make it look really easy, but I've spent my time and I've paid my dues. I got a lot of scar tissue on my elbows and my knees to prove it. This particular bike is a Honda CR250. It's got a couple modifications. It's got a bigger sprocket on the back, which is probably the most noticeable. 75 tooth, 13 on the front. Carburetor's on a 45-degree angle, so the thing actually, runs better when it's doing a wheelie. It doesn't run as good on two wheels on the ground as it does on one wheel. Being the Wheelie King has gotten me to a lot of places around the world. I've been to 12 foreign countries so far, and I'm hoping to go to a few more. I'd like to go over to China, and one of the things I'd like to do in China is wheelie on the China wall. I'd like to make it over to the Soviet Union too, and wheelie around that country also. Also wheeling's got me everywhere in the United States. I think I've been to every state in the Union except maybe one, and I really couldn't tell you what that one is. I don't tell anybody to do this. I don't tell anybody not to do it. If you're going to ride a wheelie on a motorcycle or an ATV, always wear a good safety helmet and good protective clothing, good motocross gear. Stay off the city streets and the sidewalks. You don't want to get busted by the coppers. And Just be safe and have fun.